The Founding Fathers. Names etched in history, memorialized in bronze and marble. We revere them as architects of a nation. Yet behind the polished facades lies a complex reality. They were flawed, human, grappling with ambition and integrity. Their story is one of striving, debate, and contradictions. By peeling back myths, we find a richer narrative. Their humanity makes their story enduringly compelling. The noble ideals of liberty and equality etched into America's founding documents clash with the reality of slavery. How could a nation of freedom enshrine such brutality? This contradiction forces us to confront the hypocrisy of the Founding Fathers. Many, like Jefferson, who wrote "All men are created equal," owned slaves. This dissonance compels us to grapple with the uncomfortable truth of their legacy. The Founding Fathers were not saints draped in togas. They were men of flesh and blood, susceptible to the same flaws and foibles as any other. Behind their carefully crafted public personas lay a tapestry of personal struggles, hidden vices, and moments of moral ambiguity that challenged their carefully constructed images. Take, for instance, the often romanticized Alexander Hamilton. A brilliant mind and a tireless advocate for a strong federal government, he was also known for his extramarital affairs and his often reckless ambition, ultimately leading to his untimely demise in a duel with Aaron Burr. Then there's Benjamin Franklin, the polymath and diplomat, celebrated for his wit and wisdom. Yet even Franklin, with his penchant for moral maxims, was rumored to frequent Parisian salons and engage in less than virtuous activities. These humanizing glimpses into their private lives don't negate their accomplishments, but rather add layers to our understanding of them. They were not infallible figures operating on a higher moral plane, but individuals grappling with personal demons while simultaneously striving to build a nation. Recognizing their flaws allows us to see them not as untouchable icons, but as relatable figures who, despite their imperfections, achieved remarkable things. While we rightly celebrate the likes of Washington, Jefferson, and Adams, the American Revolution was ultimately a collective triumph, fueled by the courage and sacrifice of countless individuals whose names are lost to the mists of time. These unsung heroes, often overlooked in the grand narrative of nation-building, played crucial roles in securing liberty for a fledgling nation. Consider the contributions of women like Mercy Otis Warren, a playwright and political commentator whose writings fanned the flames of revolution. Or the bravery of individuals like James Armistead Lafayette, an enslaved African-American who served as a double agent for the Continental Army, providing crucial intelligence that contributed to the American victory at Yorktown. These individuals, often marginalized or forgotten, remind us that history's tapestry is woven from threads of countless lives, each contributing to the grander design. Their stories challenge us to look beyond the well-trodden paths of historical narratives and uncover the contributions of those who labored in the shadows. Their sacrifice is no less significant for their lack of recognition. By amplifying these forgotten voices, we enrich our understanding of the American Revolution, transforming it from a narrative dominated by a select few into a more inclusive and representative account of a nation born from the collective struggle of diverse individuals. The image of the Founding Fathers as a unified brotherhood, working in perfect harmony to establish a new nation, is, well, a misleading simplification. In reality, the road to independence was paved with fierce disagreements, bitter rivalries, and ideological clashes that honestly threatened to derail the entire American experiment. The debate over the Constitution, for instance, cleaved deep divisions between those who favored a strong central government, like Hamilton and his Federalist allies, and those who championed states' rights. Figures like Thomas Jefferson and James Madison, who would later form the Democratic-Republican Party, stood firmly on the other side of the argument. These weren't just minor policy squabbles. They were fundamental disagreements about the very nature of power, representation, and liberty itself. Newspapers of the time became battlegrounds for scathing editorials. Personal attacks? They were commonplace, and the future of the newly formed nation, well, it hung precariously in the balance. The eventual ratification of the Constitution, with its intricate system of checks and balances, was a testament not to a singular vision, but to the power of compromise, however imperfect that might have been. It stands as a reminder that even in the face of profound disagreement, a shared commitment to democratic ideals can, somehow, forge a path forward, albeit one marked by the scars of past struggles. The fight for independence demanded immense sacrifices from all involved, and the Founding Fathers were no exception. While they are often remembered for their intellectual contributions and political acumen, we must not forget the personal toll exacted by their commitment to the cause. Many, like George Washington, risked their lives and fortunes, leading armies against a superior force, their fates uncertain with each passing battle. Others, like Thomas Paine, sacrificed comfort and security, enduring imprisonment and exile for their beliefs. Their families, too, bore the brunt of their choices. Wives and children were often left behind to manage estates and businesses, facing uncertainty and danger in a land consumed by war. Letters exchanged between husbands and wives reveal the emotional toll of separation, the constant worry, and the ever-present longing for peace and reunion. These personal sacrifices serve as a poignant reminder that the fight for freedom was not an abstract ideal, but a lived experience, fraught with risk, loss, and the constant threat of failure. It underscores the depth of their conviction and the magnitude of their gamble, as they wagered their lives and fortunes on the uncertain promise of a better future. While their roles in the American Revolution rightly earned them a place in history, the Founding Fathers were more than just revolutionaries. They were men of remarkable intellect, whose contributions extended far beyond the battlefield, encompassing fields like science, literature, philosophy, and invention. Thomas Jefferson, for instance, was not just the author of the Declaration of Independence, but also a gifted architect, designing his own Monticello estate and influencing the architectural landscape of the newly formed nation. Benjamin Franklin, a true polymath, excelled as a scientist, inventor, writer, and diplomat, his experiments with electricity and his witty aphorisms still resonating centuries later. Their intellectual curiosity and thirst for knowledge shaped the nascent nation's cultural and intellectual landscape. They founded universities, established libraries, and fostered a spirit of inquiry that would propel America to the forefront of scientific and technological advancement. By recognizing their contributions beyond the realm of politics and war, we gain a more complete picture of their multifaceted legacies. They were not just architects of a nation, but also architects of ideas, whose intellectual endeavors continue to shape American thought and innovation to this day. The legacy of the Founding Fathers is a complex and often contradictory one, marked by both remarkable achievements and profound shortcomings. They bequeathed to future generations a nation founded on principles of liberty and self-governance, a beacon of hope for those yearning for freedom. Yet they also left behind a legacy marred by the institution of slavery, a hypocrisy that would continue to haunt the nation for generations to come. Their vision of America, though aspirational, was ultimately an unfinished project, one that subsequent generations would grapple with, reinterpret, and ultimately redefine. The Civil War, the Civil Rights Movement, and the ongoing struggle for equality are all testaments to the enduring power of their ideals, even as they expose the limitations of their vision. It's easy to judge them by today's standards, to condemn their failings and question their choices. However, such judgments, while understandable, risk overlooking the historical context in which they operated. They were products of their time, grappling with the complexities of a world vastly different from our own. Instead of viewing them through a simplistic lens of hero worship or condemnation, we should strive for a more nuanced understanding, one that acknowledges their flaws while appreciating their contributions. Their story is a reminder that even the most revered figures are human, capable of both greatness and error. As we delve into the lives of the Founding Fathers, uncovering hidden truths and challenging romanticized narratives, we enrich our understanding of history. By embracing their triumphs and failures, virtues and vices, we gain a more honest picture of those who shaped a nation. History is a dynamic conversation, evolving with new voices and perspectives. By embracing both the light and shadows of our past, we equip ourselves to build a more just and equitable future.